get out. With my coat on. Sure. Uncomfortable. Oh, I should probably keep my big water container filled when I do this game, but whatever. Got our 3-day time slot. Ace Attorney starting today. So yeah. doing all that stuff. Load in here. Have that jammin' music playing. I need to figure out what I want to add to my schedule. Does this even come up? It's big, but it does come up. Just out of curiosity. Does not show unless I have it up here. Oh, weird. It doesn't show the picture at all. I wonder why that happens. You can see it in the time slot preview. Huh. That's so weird. Oh, we'll not worry about that for now. We got a bit to do. I just felt like I had like crit on him or something. I don't know. Actually, before I forget, let me just throw the ads at random places. Do things. Let's see. Grab that. Come on, stuff. Saving people. Maybe. Is that a good title? Probably fun. That went up. I know I'm wasting time here, and you're all having to look at powers, but just uno momento. You'll be okay in a second. Maybe. Probably not. Okay. I told him about that stuff. Did I get anything new that I could show him? A guitar case. That was John's, whatever. I think I just started calling him John anyway. Not to be confused with the John that comes into chat sometimes. I'm guessing you've seen this case before. It's pretty famous by now. It stands out because it holds the bright red guitar. And the bright red guitar, the Jammin' Ninja's signature item.
But if the guitar is so important, how could he forget it at the award ceremony?
That does seem a little strange. Almost as if he's not the real Jammin' Ninja. I'm just gonna show him anything, just in case. I can't believe it. Kidnapping?
You remember what the person looked like who gave this to you?
It was that bellboy, and I didn't suspect a thing because he looked like such a normal old man. Old man, huh?
We already know who it is.
We just don't know where he is. It called this so suddenly that something about it just seems off, you know? You mean the press conference? Ahem. Yeah, you said there's something I'd like to confess if I win. I heard he faxed his request for a conference in the office only yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, that is kinda sudden. But I guess his manager set everything up somehow, so he was lucky. Nice manager. Suspicious? Hey, that's Miss Andrews. She's Matt's manager. Actually, I was interested in her for a little bit. Just a little. Ah, so Mr. Powers likes this type of woman. What do you know about Miss Andrews? Well, see, here's the thing. I really don't know her. You know her. You know, what? There's a sort of small rumor going around her right now.
A rumor?
If you're interested, I'd be glad to share what I know. He's so happy. He looks like a lion that's just found his next meal. I never would have thought I'd see her here of all places. The last time we saw each other was during that really bad incident, you know? I mean, but when I look back now, I think of the good things, so it's not so bad, I guess. Yeah, I would love to go back in time and relive a few of those good things. Chuckle. That's not funny. Yeah, I guess not. Matt's younger than me, but you can practically see his star potential.
His star potential? I'm 8, I should be able to talk better than this.
And I got the autograph the other day. Feels kinda wrong now, doesn't it? Huh. Just always slap him. I don't care what people say. Matt didn't kill John. I know he didn't. He debuted around the same time as Matt and everything you know.
Really?
It started out small. First it was singing contests, then swimming competitions. Then it was bowling tournaments, and then it was who could throw the best. New Year's parties, John always trying to one-up Matt, but lately those two were escalating to more dangerous things. I thought that no good would come of it all, so I began to worry. Too bad John's story ended so soon. What, did it escalate into who could be the samurai better? Whatever samurai better, you know? So this guy was actually better than him, but it was because they swapped places? That'd be kind of funny. Hey, is my face really that scary? Kids won't come anywhere near me. When I cover my face, they're all shocked because then they figure out who I am.
I think your face makes you look like a very kind person.
Nah, Mr. Power is getting teary-eyed. So are you Maya's little sister?
I'm sorry, but no.
Oh, then you must be Mr. Wright's little sister.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but...
Then whose little sister are you?
I'm sorry, but I'm an only child.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Oh, looks so sad. She looks really sorry, too. Why you gotta pick on a little girl? I'm sure he won't hurt her, and he'll let her go soon. Yeah. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. You will save her. Thanks. Good talk. Would you mind telling me about this gossip? Oh, so you are interested? I figured you would be. Yeah. I have such a weakness for celebrity gossip, too. Oh, really? You too, huh? I definitely care. Yeah, so take a look. Looks like a tabloid Miss Oldbag would read. Alright, let's see. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous. The mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss AA. You see now, don't you? Wow. You can stop pretending to be in the dark, Mr. Wright. John Cartwright didn't have a manager of his own, which means if we're talking about a certain manager with the initials AA. Adrian Andrews? Whatever her name is, I don't know. Yes, exactly. This is big news. I'm not doing his voice, right? Like how I usually do. Oh well, it doesn't matter. But it seems kind of odd. That woman, Miss Andrews, together with the biggest rival of our client. That's what a wonderful thing that can only happen between two people.
Miss Powers looks so happy. Mr. Powers looks so happy.
I was just following along, not having any idea why he's smiling. Huh? Well, like the saying goes, one man's garbage is another man's treasure. Gossip land. Gossip can do a lot, though. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I have to take up the pearl thing first, don't I? She has 4, though. I don't think I can do it yet. I'll only tell you if you can bring me John's autograph. Yeah, I can... So do I have to start this? I mean, she has 4 locks. I don't think I have everything for it. What you witnessed. Alright, I'll be honest with you now. Then please, tell us what you saw. But, what a waste. Little devil after all, what? Yeah, doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. That's John's autograph. Yes, it is. It's one of a kind, you could say, because he's frickin' dead. and it even says to my dearest Wendy on it. That's me, right? Right? My name's Wendy Oldbag, so that Wendy has to be me, right? Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think John had this Wendy in mind when he signed it. Just had to check. Oh, please, give it to me. Let me have it, please. I can't let you have it just like that. Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange? Wow, she must really want this autograph. My offer isn't good enough for you. Fine, Mr. Wright, you win. Want the old bag ready to open her heart. All for my dearest John. Wait, huh? Her locks just all went away? It was a fake out? It was a fake out. I feel bad for you now. Huh? I tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of John's room. You're kidding.
Oh no.
It was about 10 minutes before John's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business. And... did you tell that to the police? Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or 2 out of it. Maybe more.
Gift certificate?
I've been recruited again for that part at the trial, you know. The trial tomorrow. This time, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty.
That Mr. On Guard hasn't done anything bad.
I don't care about the details like that. I know you did my... did my dear poor John in. I just do. The yellow-bellied chicken.
Yellow belly chicken? I wonder what that would look like.
I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad and I say he did it. What did Mr. On God ever do to deserve this? What did Mr. On God do to make you so... You don't know? That guy, he framed my John. He created that scandal that plagued poor John.
Mr. Nick.
What is it?
What scandal?
Oh, I'll tell you about it after we get home, okay? Poor John led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress.
Mr. Nick, what do vials and wild temptress mean?
Ah. How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, pals? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about? Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy shoved the girl onto John on purpose. His own manager? But why? I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make John lose face. The girl John drove into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud. Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag? I'm one of John's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know. And you have proof that Mr. On God did what you say he did? Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so. Ah, of course, a tabloid.
Next week? Does that mean it's something that people don't know about yet?
Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? Is she friends with our friend? Huh? I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. No. Maybe. No. No, I'm good.
No? Maybe. Maybe? Maybe not? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. It doesn't look like the Mr. Scruffy detective's here.
Great. Now even Pearls is calling him Scruffy. Thanks, Francesca. They said something about an investigation briefing earlier, right? Why don't we come back and try again later when they're done?
Okay, I guess that's all we can do, right, Mr. Nick?
The lawyer dude. So what did you find out? Well, I'm still in the middle of investigating. I see. But I already told you everything I know, dude. What happened? Can you tell me about your activities last night? After I got the award, I took my break and went to the back room. I had that post-ceremony stage show to do, so I was in my nickel samurai costume. And you were alone the entire time. My manager was running around being busy, so yeah. Because of the press conference... Oh, because of the press conference you were supposed to hold after the show. Told you, dude, I had no idea about any press conference, alright? That's strange, I thought Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. Anyway, when I was leaving my room, that's when I noticed it kind of noisy. Mr. Cordia was already dead at that time, yeah. We read this part before, why are they showing it again? What do you think about this article? You're talking about her thing with John? I always thought she was a bit careless in the way she handled it. And that's it? That's it. That's my manager. Did you meet her? Yeah. What do you think? She's a young woman, right? And she takes good care of me. She's like my mom. She told me to call her mom, too. No? No. You're such a mama's boy. Actually, did he see her? No. Do I have anything else I could show him? Okay, I didn't think so. I think I tried to show him that stuff before already, didn't I? Yeah, that kind of stuff's the manager. Yeah, okay. For right now, I don't think we can tell him anything else. Well, I should probably just do this just in case it changed for some reason. Just like this, change. Looks like the same stuff. Yeah, still not anything. Wait, what? They don't let me... That's weird. They only let me go to the hotel lobby at those other places. It's so weird when they do that junk. Well, if that's the case, I think we need to... Let's see what she's got. I don't know if we can do anything, but maybe this is a fake out too. Maybe we only have to unlock one. We got some evidence, so... Lada, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room?
I told you, didn't I? For my scoop.
What I want to know about are the details of this scoop. Lot of air quotations happening lately.
That's not something I can tell you. I mean, there's my bread and butter.
Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal. Could it be that you, Lada Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between John Cora and this person?
They swarming.
These are Jane Andrews, and God's manager. However you say it. Adrian, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep saying it like that. The Nickel Samurai's manager, caught secretly meeting with his rival, the German ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it?
I'm pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. You can't just make up any old thing and think I'll make papers. You gotta have backup.
Backup?
Yeah, you gotta have that, that's what the news source.
You mean news source?
That's it. Tell me something that shows John had something with Miss Andrews.
This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. German Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager. To the stars, Miss A.A. Miss Cordia... Mr. Cordia... I don't even know how to say that last name. Corrida, I don't know. Didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. Ungod's manager, Adrian Andrews. She has the initials AA. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Cordelia's door last night.
What? What? Wario?
Unlock success. You were looking into Mr. Cordelia and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you?
You got it. I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching them in the secret meeting.
But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news.
What you just say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? Ain't no proof for nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do, that's for sure. What I was doing, getting photos.
Oh.
I was gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading, and spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story.
Wow, Lotta. Nice journalistic integrity you got there.
I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know. But... the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone.
Yeah, to yourself?
Was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story, didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me.
Yeah, understood.
Enough to make yeah go bonkers. I tell you what's with people now anyway. Never thought I would see the day when someone don't steal something from me.
You really want that note back, huh? Got no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie.
Well-known murder, tabloid article about the victim was in the case. But Powers had this article. What was Powers doing with the article?
Found Mr. Cordelia murdered.
I think we can do this part now. Maybe. We'll see. Why are you asking me? Don't tell me you can see inside my heart.
No, but I can see the locks you have on your psyche.
If you don't remove your locks.
Yeah, it's worth a Steve ask.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I keep forgetting that you have to start it with the stupid pearl. Didn't bother changing that part.
Motive for murder. Why was John Cordelia murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Ungod's life in danger by your actions?
Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Cordelia.
You were not that close?
That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person.
You're not good at being intimate with another person. Somehow I highly doubt that. You and Mr. Cordelia had an intimate relationship, did you not?
A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish.
Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into the story.
As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars.
Note to self, stay on the good side.
In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that.
I see, however. What if there was a need for you to get close to someone?
Me? I need to get close to Mr. Cordelia. If there was ever such a need. Huh, really? It's my soul hint to go home, but I need to get close to a victim. Can you get close to Mr. Carter for this person's sake? Well, almost killed myself. Oops. That doesn't make sense.
For her sake, would she have gotten close to him? I feel like we don't have enough people. So I just wasted my health for nothing. Oh yeah, that's fun. Keep going. What's the slide button? Slide button. Need the slide button. We checked that stuff. Checked all that. Nothing's there. It's just all bears. We did it, Thief and Rascal. Bugger, gonna pay with a bullet. That's what I thought too. Secretly, of course. What? I thought these names were reversed with the other day, weren't they? Help yourself to one of them. Yeah, pick up one of the bears. None of that stuff was important. What are we missing? Yeah, he doesn't know anything about the camera himself. I can't talk to him, I don't have many options. Well, it's time to exhaust all options. Since I had to waste my health bar for no reason. Because the game could be stupid. I already got as much information out of her as I could, I thought. I feel like we're missing something. Unless they're being really dumb about the person I was supposed to select. I don't know, I still don't see anything around here. It looks like I have to trigger her scene, though, to move along. If there were no psychic locks, then that means we can trust Mr. On God to be innocent.
I feel feeling much better after doing that. Ever since last night, I was so worried. I kept wondering if he is really a killer. What then?
You look a little too happy saying that. Hey, I have something I want to ask you, pals.
Okay, what is it?
Why are you so interested in how Maya and I get along? I mean, she and I don't have anything special.
Huh? What do you mean? But I thought you and Mystic Maya were mistaken all this time. No what?
He really wasn't kidding. Rails actually believes Maya and I are. Maybe I should have just left it alone.
Mr. X, stop it! Don't hide your true feelings from me.
Ow! She slapped me. What?
That's a liar's sacred treasure, isn't it?
I guess.
I feel like it has a mysterious power, just like my Magatama.
Well, I guess I can let her think what she wants. This one. What's the harm? Oh, wait, is this just done now? Dang it. I should have just checked here first, instead of making my health go down, because I picked the wrong person. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Hey, so you came, pal. Why the blunt greeting? Oh, because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are alright. But we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So what do you mean by the evidence is airtight? Can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces.
Two?
And both of them are in this photo. Wait, he just said he couldn't tell us, but he's just telling us right now. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button that you found during your search of Mr. On Guard. Yep, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai special pants. The second one is the knife in his chest, pal. Fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose are they?
You don't have to ask, little missy, it's obvious. They're men on guards. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about us being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean you thought so? Did she tell you something, Val? Well... I even told her not to open that mouth first, blab at anyone. A blab a novice. Stuck on 10, and there's no turning it down, trust me. Well, Miss Oldbank saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. Ungard come out of the victim's room, around the estimated time of death.
No way.
Pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves. A scandal with Mr. Cordelia? By why? Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide.
Suicide? Oh.
Her name was Celeste Impact? What? And she was John Cordelia's manager. The victim's manager? That's not all, pal. Sun Park was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one.
Her mentor?
A woman who was both Miss Cordelia's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could a suicide have something to do with this case? Do you want to know more about her, pal?
You didn't give us a face bubble?
She was the victim's manager and was also a mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but...
I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another.
Miss Von Karma.
You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do, Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's...
Wait, please, sir. If I don't get next month's pay,
Quiet. If it weren't for the traitors like you...
I would have won. That's what you wanted to say. I don't know who this is.
Who?
That voice. Edgeworth? It's been a long time, right?
This person, this is Mr. Edgeworth?
What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong. You haven't changed a bit, Francesca.
You. How dare you show your face without a shred of shame upon it? You soiled the Von Karma name and dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed to be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Francesca. How are things going? I hear you're having a rough time maintaining a perfection in this country. You. You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I will see you tomorrow in court. It'll be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory. Still the same wild mare she always was. I thought you, the prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died.
Mr. Nick.
I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? The wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. I'll say one thing. You can't win on your own at trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it's available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. That's what's going on inside his head. A lot of things that may have happened, however, Mountford Von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a Von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reasons you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials is so selfish. It'd been better for everyone if you never come back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Francesca, she almost always says, I will defeat you this time. The instant she sees me. But courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives. Save your client, you say? Those who think only for their own ego-driven goals. Those kind of prosecutors are replaceable to me, even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. Looks like there's still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you'll see it is coming soon enough. This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Andrew's mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became John Cordera's manager. And then a few months later, Celeste and Pak died. But her death was ruled as suicide, right? Yes. But there's still one riddle yet to be solved. Riddle? A suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself. A secret? You can't help but feel that the whole case revolves around her. I wanted to see if you said anything about it. Well, I was abroad. These deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it. Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto. Refreshing. And what is so refreshing about a spring breeze? Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year. There's an interesting rumor about this man. You mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? That's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it? I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found. Just in case. But we didn't tell him that she's kidnapped. Did we show him this yet? I forget. No, we didn't. Oh, come on, it's nothing bad. I figured why not. Well, I showed him literally everything I possibly— oh, yeah. Suicide note. Miss Park's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that, there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect someone had hidden it. A suicide note? How do you know Miss Park had even written such a note? There's no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right fingers, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. John Cordelia himself. The victim? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who would have a chance to hide her suicide note. It is manage a suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look over this. This suicide report, part 1 anyway. Part 1. Suicide note hidden. I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all, the reports that have multiple parts like that. That one has two. 2 parts. What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempted name is Adrian Andrews.
Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try and kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Andrews, she has a certain secret that she's always trying to hide.
A secret?
A dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews, dependent. Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celestine Park. And why did Andrews think about committing suicide?
because she had apparently lost her will to live.
Lost her will, but why would she?
A pillar of strength. Her mentor Celestial impact was gone forever, that's why.
Why would that?
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Andrew started attending counseling sessions. She was someone who needs a person whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live.
And that's the nature of her dependencies on others?
When Celestial Impactor suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Andrews herself.
Then that means her super confident attitude.
It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together.
How terrible.
So that's how Celestia, whatever her name is, acted. But then why did she commit suicide? Did they have rumors spread about her or something? Some nonsense? I think we probably have all the evidence we need now to unlock that girl's lock. No, don't do that. Oh my god. This. I hate hitting the wrong button.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Francesca von Karma.
Miss Von Karma?
What are you doing here?
Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
You've got some nerve following me around.
Following you?
That's you, Miss Von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls.
You're always following after Mr. Detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl.
What is that?
Electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move.
So you're not just following him, you're also stalking him. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I'm feeling real sorry for the poor Detective Gumshoe now.
Now then, let's stop wasting time. Andrews? Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Think... understood. Alright.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
Well, time to unlock our secrets.
Not being good at interacting with another person. Yeah.
You did it for this person's sake, didn't you? Sunstone Park, your mentor. Mentor.
How do you know about Silas?
Mason Park, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was John Cordel's manager, so I believe you got close to Miss Cordelia so you could find out more about her suicide.
You have great imagination. you may have a future yet as a simple, slimy mucker for a future third-rate tabloid.
Miss Andrews.
There was no mystery surrounding her death, none. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing.
Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you're completely at ease with it. With the way her suicide was resolved. Wait, I might not have everything? Or is it just showing her that, because the suicide note was hidden? Miss Park's suicide note was never found, was it? Looks like the police were under suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Cordelia.
Jean.
And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. This is why you became intimate with Mr. Cordelia, or whatever his name is.
I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor, however, allow me to say this again. It has nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. A person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others.
That's the impression you like to give, however. I don't think that's who you really are.
What?
I have evidence that says otherwise. There's proof that Celeste was someone very special to you.
I don't think I have the final thing there, do I? Unless it'll break itself or something.
Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you?
Went through with what?
Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself.
Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember.
However, that's all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people whom you can depend on.
That's...
You were dependent on Miss Park, weren't you? Which is why... when she passed away, you lost everything you had.
Stop. Celeste passed away, so suddenly like that. I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note.
You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Miss Cordelia of hiding Miss Park's note. You heard about it, and you thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes.
What do you mean?
What topic did we start this conversation on again?
It was why was the victim killed?
Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become one with a reason to want Miss Cordelia dead.
Me?
Miss Park was everything to you. And then she died. You would do anything to find out why she killed herself, even commit murder.
Murder?
Oh, we broke the last seal just by talking. Yay, I got my health back. Messing up the last time.
It's true.
The music stops.
Music stop. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews, there's one thing. It's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine alone.
I'm sorry.
You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you?
Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth.
After Celeste passed away, I heard someone had hidden her suicide note. That someone was John. Celeste, without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me.
So you got close to Mr. Cordelia to recover her suicide note, correct?
Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so...
I understand.
Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret.
Miss Andrews?
If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose death than live.
Alright, I understand. I feel like a guilt tripping me, but jeez. Calm down. Get more therapy if you need it. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first.
Thank you for your discretion.
Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand a while back.
That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding?
Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know, it just suddenly appeared in my handbag.
What is it? It looks like a seashell?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from.
I don't remember something clearly. Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence.
Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Ungard in your capable hands.
Pearls. Well, I think we've gathered all we can. We did? I think we could get more. Aren't we supposed to end it in one day? I don't think we have enough to end it in one day.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, Pearl, she looks like she's so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all. And has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh no, I'm okay, really. I'm fine, I really am.
You don't look fine to me. Just in case. You never know. Lada isn't here. So do we just show everyone this anyway? Eh?
So what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for Sarah. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Mock's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one who discovered the victim's body. Clever.
Mr. Nick, the transceiver.
Hello? Wright and Co-Loft says... Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone. Maya! Where's Maya?
As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time. Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished.
What?
So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend, at any cost. Wouldn't you agree?
Wait, Maya, let me hear it.
He'd probably actually say it like that, but...
Ask my...
Maya, is that you?
sis. Ask my sis.
Maya. Darn it, he cut me off.
Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis, what does she mean by that? Some sort of sister?
Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one.
Sorry. Mia?
I have a message from Maya, so come. Ask me anything you want about her.
Oh yeah. They could swap bodies and then swap back to learn the layout of where she is if they wanted to. How's Maya?
She's safe for now. The kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems.
I'm glad to hear she's safe, but... Mia, how do you know?
As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left, and I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could.
I didn't know she could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper, what's he like?
I don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel. She was drugged there.
And?
She didn't see the face of her attacker. Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. Tell you everything I heard when I was with her.
When you were with her?
I'm starving.
Oh!
I can really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die.
I'm not going to kill you. The starvation will kill you. No. You're only not eating for one day. You can go 3 weeks without food, Maya. Stop being dramatic.
Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now.
Well, time to look everywhere.
Drat, it's locked. This door's lock seems easy enough to open. TV that here always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. And click, magically open the door. Wonder if there's a card around here I could use. What's this? It feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here. And these, they feel like barrels. I'll pass too, but I'm really hungry, not really thirsty.
Yeah, don't get drunk on wine.
It's all sorts of things piled up here.
They showed that she was tied to a pole, didn't they? She's like tied to a support beam. I don't think she could exactly pick up anything up. I guess turning into bigger Mia might rip the cords. If they're around the chest, at least.
There's all sorts of things piled up here. But it's too dark to see. Huh. Someone dropped a card here. It kinda looks like a business card. But there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. That's it. A shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. Such a genius. Alright. Now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting, or worried.
To be continued? Question mark.
Well, what will happen next? Aren't we going to start the trial? Adrian did it?
That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That one couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Almost time. Oh, Mia's still here? Mia.
We must get a complete acquittal today.
I mean, apparently not if Maya just escapes. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Indeed. Well, let's get going.
It's him. This is Wright.
Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya, she's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial, which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
Present? What in the world would you want to give me?
You'll figure it out once the trial starts, and even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win today's contest. If you please. If you please.
Kidnapper sent me a present?
Mr. Lawyer, dude, who is that?
No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get longer?
Yes, I did. I'm Pinocchio.
Why did that little girl suddenly turn into a big girl that has big bazungas? I don't get it. They're really big. She was like 8 years old. Is it wrong to stare?
No.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
May she, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me?
Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. You must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Oh, great.
Prosecutor Von Karma, as this morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman.
What?
Shot? That was his gift?
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
His present?
Miss Von Karma is the one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright?
I don't have that answer.
She's alive, in stable condition.
That's good. Ooh.
Edgeworth.
I thought he'd show up.
Why is he in the witness stand part? Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francesca Von Karma cannot appear in court. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Except Edgeworth could help us do this, in a way, but I don't know. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. Prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt on guard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call the first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation.
My name is Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct, for now. For now? After this trial is over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe.
The prosecution has no need for depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah. It would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Mr. Edgeworth. What Edgeworth? I mean, wouldn't his answer be, you're supposed to fight for the law? So you're supposed to get the person who's actually guilty? I feel like that would be anyone's actual thing.
This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Sean Corderio, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered. He was like super murdered. At first we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their rooms, sir. May she, Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. May begin.
So the bellboy had like the stitched on face. Are they going to say that Andrews was hid her face like that somehow? Or are they going to say something else that's also really weird? I don't know. I don't know. Probably should have had something to eat. I didn't really have much to eat today. The person who discovered the victim's body was Andrews, correct?
Yeah. Who is Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant. Man Andrews' manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. No, she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she'll grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to Mr. On Guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. May she? That's when she found the victim's body.
The cause of death. Wasn't that because Miss Corderio was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this banana. His bandana, sir. Thing that's wrapped tightly around his neck. Yes, I see his banana-scented banana. What?
Then what about the knife?
It seems the victim...
Wait. They're not gonna do that, are they?
Seems the... Oh, it seems to have been struck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. We have a crafty murder on our hands here.
Strangled with a scarf. They're not gonna say like he was trying to kill himself too or something, right? It probably won't go in that direction. I can't actually tell how this is going to play out though. I have some theories, but not enough to go on. Here, that means I can ask Persona questions, right? I mean, this is Persona, right? Persona 6. I mean, there's a lot of talking like Persona, so it's pretty much the same thing. And why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Boo! That's how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar, and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but... The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory, then.
So, Phoenix is Protag-kun with his 1 million personas, summons personas, I mean, he makes little girls turn into big-breasted girls, if that counts. It's like the same thing. What convinced you that it had nothing to do with the case?
Car wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. But then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, John, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean... he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Engard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Being all edgy. So this is like 99% trial. Court trial's the game. Kinda. I mean, it's mostly just like puzzle detective game. Point and click adventure. You go around and try and figure out why it happened. Try and figure out who really did the murdering.
Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir. I don't know, is that how that dang ropa goes? The dang rope? That's what it's called, right? Dang rope.
Matt Engard and John Cordelia were huge rivals with each other. They each thought of the other guy was in his way. That's no motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the gem and ninja button. It was ripped off the ninja's costume and was found in Mr. Engard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this premeditated murder.
It looks like a steak knife, though, from when they had their steaks.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Bears the victim's blood and guards fingerprints. In the grip, Gatewater is engraved. So he didn't bring it. Are we really going to contradict that part? Yeah, well, basically there are 16 students trapped in a high school, and mechanic teddy bear with someone on the other side basically tells you that you can either 1, live there forever, or 2, murder someone and get away with it, and you are set free. Oh.
And there's this button. That button was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? Is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, sir. We know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What?
Gem and there's button added.
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright? Ha! I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. They're not pointless, they're super cool. I get to say objection and hold it, and everybody loves it. And they make a bunch of video games for me. They'll make video games for you. Actually, you do have a video game. If someone is murdered, you take your time looking for the evidence and then have a clash trial call on someone's BS or not, but in the end, the goal is to get out alive as many people
Either way, you know, if you don't stream, if you don't stream it, you'll see pitchforks outside your house. Haha, in DR they say you're wrong. Turn brought the knife for the crime. So don't worry, I'm not gonna save scum or anything, obviously. Wait just a darn tootin' second.
Oh, what is it?
So the bias of your argument that this was premeditated murder is simply that. My client bought a knife beforehand.
That's right, pal. The defendant
Did not buy this knife.
Huh?
Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I heard that name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel.
Oh.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. It was just a normal murder.
Wait. Yes, that is very true. This is very big. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this.
But I didn't... Oh.
The question is, where did this knife come from?
Right, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Cordelia's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I'd like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There's a knife and a fork on the table.
Not eat, Teddy. I don't think Teddy would not eat. Unless the judge is the teddy bear. I don't know.
Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I'd like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Ungod. There's one knife missing. Especially what was on top of his table. There's something missing, perhaps. It is a single knife. Yeah, well, he's a baby, so maybe Miss Andrews cut his steak for him because he didn't know how. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Ungod's knife was missing. Just use the katana to... The katana is a prop for his costume, it's different. Mr. Ungod had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit to kill, of course? And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven that this was a premeditated murder.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliant, clear deduction.
It seems Miss Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning.
This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. But they looked like a boy. I mean, wait, what?
That's a reverse trap, Mr. Wright. A member with fingerprints and button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although,
I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not shown, yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hadn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well... Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, the gavel of his will be ringing out the sound of defeat. He was just trying to cosplay Orono as Zoro, and someone got triggered over whose best friend spawned out in One Piece, so they killed him. I feel like that's not how it happened, probably, but you never know. Maybe. Something important necessary to present to this courtroom. Now, you see, the only thing I hate about this game is that I do have things I can show them, but this game's really dumb with the way they want you to show things. Like, these two things are alone for the suicide report stuff we could show. We could bring up different motives for the deceased people. But then sometimes the game's like, no, you have to say no first, because then something happens and something new happens. You weren't supposed to say it right now. So I'm never sure what to do here. So I'm going to save it, and we're going to save Scum, and if we need to. But let's say I actually do. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
May I say this one more time? I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtain for us all.
You may present one piece of evidence. Now then, what is the important evidence that you must show to the court?
So do they want me to show this? Or do they want me to show this? This is the cruddy thing too. Like, both of them I feel would work. So I'm just gonna look it up so I don't have to save Scum. Even though that I already got it ready for save scumming. I just don't want to reload. I don't feel like reloading. Where's the case? This case. That's not the right one. Wait, is this even right? Oh, wait, this is the last part in general. Oops. Wait, I need to start the trial. This tutorial guide is not doing what I want it to do. Okay, there we go. Bear the facts, cross-examination. Got the guitar thing. Damn ninja's button. Knife will be added. Actually do. Oh, they mean that part. Okay. Maybe. I guess this is still important. Apparently that's it. Unless I read it wrong. But I guess there's still... I mean, I want to know why the wine glass wasn't knocked over either. Because you wouldn't just, like, murder someone and then pour yourself some tomato juice, but... I feel like it's a little out of order, but I don't know.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo in the crime scene. One more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is the wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say?
Well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours. Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion.
You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body. Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Can Miss Andrews really have set the glass down without thinking? It's possible. Or there's no way. I don't know. It's a gamble. What do you think? What do you all think, as I'm not looking at a guide? Huh. I would have literally dropped it and streamed. I mean, that's what I would kind of think. Like, at first thought, you'd go like, oh look, someone got murdered. Oh no, someone got murdered, guys. Usually you don't have that kind of reaction, but yeah, I don't know. If I appear weak here, the trial's over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should just trust my instinct, and point with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We'd like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have evidence to support it.
What? I mean... what?
You're not thinking hard enough today, Mr. Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then,
Of course it's been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints? Those darn reliable science things?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims, nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews.
What? What happened? So doesn't that mean she stabbed him? No. Whose fingerprints were on the scarf strangling people?
That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
I can't believe I fell into another trap. The thighs just look better than normal girls.
Mr. Andrews was probably holding the glass. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to Mr. Cordelia.
I'm just gonna set this down.
Be like Von Karma and whip him. Von Karma is 13 years old and she whips random guys. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down in the dresser.
What you've just said makes a lot of sense.
Now do you see, Mr. Wright? Oh, sorry, Von Karma coming through. You can't change any part of this scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor, and from here on out,
I will show you the answer I've come to discover.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we'd like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Clearly, he decided to fight for justice now. He wants all the facts. He could have let the judge say,
"Nope, he's guilty. We don't need anything else."
But instead he's letting it proceed still. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Gotcha.
I wonder what happened to that composure you had earlier.
No, Edgy boy. It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand.
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Mr. Witness, that terrible crime is all the court needs to know.
Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know if that actually does anything or not, but she keeps doing it.
Shush. I'm talking my dearie Edgy Wedgy right now. Into donuts throughout the scramps. Yes, madam.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. Forget your name and occupation.
It's true what they say. The youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? And yes, her name is Miss Oldbag.
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan, whatever. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone's crazy over that ungod saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man. John Cordelia.
But those two were the same age. And just one looks a lot older. And one looks like a punk.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in the front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed on the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Okay.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor John's room. It was on guard. A man on guard, he was trying to sneak out his way out of John's room.
I think I was right that they switched places, but I'm still not sure. I feel like the thing here is going to be that they swapped places. That Matt was in John's costume and vice versa, and then they swapped back. I think that's going to be what the thing is, but I don't know. But that'd also be weird at the same time, but I don't know. This game does some weird things.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
I might stop a little earlier. I'm getting sort of hungry. And I ran out of water. I also have writing to do, though. Shady, are you still streaming today? I don't know. Are you still there? I don't know that either. I figured to ask.
Miss Oldback, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show, but I refused to help. I'll have you know it was for that short, lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few nails. I even took of the few of the nails. What? Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, the manager with the classes seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door.
And okay. What was she trying to find out?
Something you were interested in? And just what was that? It's not something, a little thing. It's not some little thing I could just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and John. Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor.
Gossip?
But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to a testimony later.
It looks...
That's not her voice. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness say, stay in the vicinity of the victim's door this entire time?
Oh, then why'd you tell us the number of people who went out of... Tell us the number of people who went out of the room. I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those people who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
It isn't. The witness saw someone correct.
Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the mass, Sonny. The man that came out of John's room, he was...
Yes? Who was he?
Persona 5, hold up. Yeah. Then shoot him. Except we're not shooting a witness, because that would create more problems.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. No, I wouldn't care to have Francesca whip her right now. Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. You saw my client. Are you sure about that? Yesy.
This is gonna be the same thing as last time, right? She didn't see the client, she saw the guy in the costume.
Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get the sense of deja vu? Because it's probably the same thing. Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail. You don't need me to tell you about his face. The soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. His right eye covered by his silky hair and his sparkling teeth. His teeth were shining? Well, he's shining all around in this week's pinup poster, dearie. I don't care how he looks this week's issue. Please stay away with me. Stay with what you saw. What on God's face is the same no matter where it is, you know? You whippersnappers.
So, Mr. Wright, was his testimony just now relevant or important in any way?
Of course, it's very important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important. You don't really have to put it that way to get me to say.
Mr. Wright, there's something much more valuable than a person's pride, and that is time. Please don't waste his court's precious time with worthless questions.
I think I just wasted his good favor. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. And that's bad for us, really bad. Yeah, see you, Shady. Thanks for peeking in. But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time, too, hasn't she? That's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in detail. What a troublesome man you are. Really, something like it matters. But it does. No. What was it? Oh yes, it was the thing. The only thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Oh? Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too. That thing, you know, it's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. What?
So, Mr. Wright, that testimony just now relevant in any way?
Yeah, if he was in the racing jacket, then that means he wouldn't be in the costume, so... Of course it was very important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out the testimony is important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Because he would need to be wearing the stuff to have the button tucked away, if he killed him then. Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to a testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but please. But alright, witness, please.
Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. That's just a racing jacket, honestly, it's just off the show. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it. She's sure of herself to the point of self-absorption. Okay. So then I want to show her the... Do I want to show her the button now, or profile? Or something else? Oh, wait. Scrolled down too far. Just all of her show. The button was cotton. Ninja costume and Fingard was wearing a jacket. Okay, so yeah, it is exactly what I thought. Just double checking so I don't waste my time. Even though I could be wasting my time reading it, but it's all kind of the same, I guess. Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? It's a button. Number 2 on Gem Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan if she identified it in a single glance. Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Wow. Wow, she really is die-hard fan. The one button covered in blood. I mean, it's his blood, so... His button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during the full body search.
See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Unguard.
It was caught up in the plates of Nickel Samurai's Hakama pants.
See? And Unguard is the Nickel Samurai.
Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Unguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, but what?
Oh, she's just gonna ramble now. Ramble away. I'm not even gonna bother. Edgy poo.
No, hold your tongue there for a second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Unguard, the man, but Mr. Unguard, the Nickel Samurai. But when you think about it, there's no one really. They're really one and the same anyway.
Nope, completely different.
Miss Oldbag, this is very important. Point we're talking about.
Edgy Pooh, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. All right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
Okay, so that pretty much just shows who it really was.
Unguard, yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. But he had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor John.
What? I knew it. I knew you would say he was inside the costume.
What? You think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist. We have precedents set in the previous case that happened a year ago. You could pretty much just say it like that, too. Court cases can actually go like that. Go, the same case you were on. We had the same thing happen where someone else switched costumes.
As youngins today, I told you there's no way.
What?
How do you know that? Because I said so. And what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
I don't know if there's much to cross-examine. I think I'll try and just, breeze through this part. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not.
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. You were an Biddy, what was your grand dream? Huh? What'd you wanna be when you grow up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be a judge. Wagner, hero of public court, so what?
See? And look where you are now. You're not a judge, Whack. Are you?
Well,
what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. It can't be held responsible for the past.
Since when did the court become theatrics over testimony?
All that matters is that the man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough?
Didn't say your second statement.
Hmm. That's to get an achievement. I don't need an achievement. Nickel Samurai, that's right. And why would that be?
That was no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You're such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that you're the one always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
Well, I guess we can try it well enough. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife, big deal. You're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That knife is the one used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
If you don't even have to ask, it's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? In whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Ungard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped the previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began stabbing.
And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way you would do something like that.
However, there is a possibility.
Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room on costume as the Nickel Samurai. And at that time, the defendant held no intent for murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk to the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took off his gloves.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was a bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes. I've heard of that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say to me, Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? His theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
They really need to have, like, instead of the court record, they need, like, actual dialogue log too, so you can actually look back and read what was said, like you can actually do in a courtroom. So you could do these parts more legitly.
What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. This knife. This was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Cordelia. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed. From whatever. One. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which mean the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it.
like beehives on bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. The knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order, I see. Order in the court. Was the knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
And now we want to frame Andrews. Well, not to frame to frame Andrews, but to show Andrews. It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course.
To frame?
Aren't you forcing your interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. If that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness.
Looks like I've made your life a teeny bit more difficult, huh, Jipu?
Witness, did you? Or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess that first I might have forgotten, but...
Now you're saying you matched up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV.
But I didn't mean I can't really do anything about it now. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, I was waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai? Wait, what?
Oh, right.
Alright then, who were you waiting for?
That's top secret to anyone outside the security.
I may have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. John Connion, am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you're a sad amateur with terrible case nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I a amateur of?
Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, were you waiting around for this person to come out of the victim's room?
Who's this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is, I see.
That judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt. The witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away the whole sworn to confidentiality stuff.
Witness, what in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some information. Some very secretive information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my little investigation in secret, of course.
But for what?
No, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I simply cannot let this point slide.
I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. Gonna take the win out of ya.
She could have just said it in the first place. I mean... You're ruining everything, old bag. You're ruining everything.
That On Guard is no evil, is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor John by causing a huge scandal. Through that, he sent his own manager to get in close with John. I could not condone dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this top secret got that. Nobody else but you and me know, okay?
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody above gossip. Isn't there a saying the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth of this article poses is, in fact, baseless gossip.
But should this be true, and this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim?
And this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right. On guard is nothing but your average full-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn the old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to danger zero. Or something. Maybe I'll just go until they do their intermission. Or something like that. Not sure. Water bottle. Empty. Not surviving. Okay, on guard is one evil man. I'm just gonna try and rush this. Wait. But I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. She read Lada's spicy note and looked at the camera or something.
It's a secret. Even if you drilled the hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
So no one else is supposed to know about the secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
But what are you looking at me like that? Stop it.
Witness! I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The investigative photographer, Lila Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she lost a certain note she had written unto herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that note, on that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's a note.
No, you see, this thing is completely different. Top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Zwan's, that's why. Famous puffy-eared whippersnappers. She's working with that evil Ungod, she said to herself. Ungod and his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was on trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only a little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
Well, it was only a paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once.
It looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? If I let up now. Oh no, now she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a defeating blow. Witness, you said that only the only thing you stole was that note. Is that correct? Is that stole? What do you mean? Why don't you listen carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, darn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
So just present the same thing again? Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole. Miss Oldbag, look at this $1,600 camera. The note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
My camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over a camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie, my $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
But why? My witness?
What is it, Gramps?
If you have that note, then it's only logical that you have the camera, too.
It looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I borrow things from people.
And I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it and said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. But when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures he'd taken. I'm a professional security guard, it's my business to know these things.
Brother?
Bailiff, check the camera's photos, hurry. You must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court. It is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you. That's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant, however. In his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
the defendant. What?
How did it come to this? I think this brings up the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. We agree this photo is deciphered evidence against your client.
Something strange. It's not big enough. If I raise an objection to it below it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. This photo. Lot of tuck. Something strange. Too long. Someone who's shorter was in the costume. Huh? I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree that there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Yes. Anyways, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you only need one chance, correct?
Well... Okay, we get it. Just let me point it. Legs are too long. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
Then, what does that mean?
The costume person's photo could not have been on guard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you'd care to elaborate. The actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai poster. Please pay peculiar attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama, whatever it's called.
He sucks. You can see his socks. He sucks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding up his Kama just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside the costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. What is? Edgeworth's unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all? He doesn't feel under attack because he's trying to find the actual victim now. Well, the actual victim and the actual guilty party. Right? He wants to throw everyone at the person that's actually guilty now? Maybe?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If this person in the photo is not mad on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside the costume is not mad on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? And don't stress over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who's the person in this photograph? Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews, when the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Ungard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Ungard that night.
And how does all that add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Ungard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used in the murder.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, Wright? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Andrews in the murder of John Carter. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order in the court. It looks like this trial is a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Andrews, but it cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. What do you mean? If John Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? If I don't get a verdict today, then my,
No, then we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? This is about to end court. So I have to raise an objection to this? You proven Andrews' opportunity, but my, brings as news. Oh. Eh. Wait and see.
Now then, the court will...
It said Edgeworth would do it anyway. And Horn, wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth?
Did Gumshoe tell him?
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Andrews is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What? 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 What is the meaning of this, of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution lobby. She's the next witness. Everything was as planned in advance. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like there's a battle. This battle is far from over. Exactly. Well done.
Very well, we'll call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. Courtroom will now take a 10-minute recess.
To be continued? And that's where we're going to be continued for reals. So, for anyone who dropped in, thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed and that stuff. Be back tomorrow. I'll remember to bring more water tomorrow too, so I don't blow up. But we'll see how things go. Hopefully nothing bad happens to Maya. It'll be interesting to see if she escaped or did something. We don't really know where she is, but it looks like she was just still in the hotel. But I guess she could be in anyone's wine cellar. Unless this was all set up to do something else. But I'm guessing the real thing is we're going to try and figure out the killer stuff. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Did Andrews actually kill him? Because it seems like part of it was still set up by this hitman guy. Or we might have to do something with the hitman. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Either way, till next time, guys. Catch you later.